It is 6:49 this morning. A 48-year-old man is behind bars.
He's accused of sending illicit images and videos to more than 30 students at Karns High School. He's charged with 6 counts of sexual exploitation of a minor by electronic means. The sheriff's office says he sent the images to a Snapchat group of more than 30 students. All the victims in that group are now identified. And police caught a man accused of raping a child in Sevierville in Houston, Texas. We told you about this story a few weeks ago. Police were looking for Edgar Lionel Sanchez Rosales. U.S. Marshals caught him earlier this week in Texas. He is on his way back to East Tennessee.
Right now, one person is dead after drowning in Douglas Lake. The Jefferson County Sheriff's Office says it happened around 7:30 last night near the Ladeville Lake access area in White Pine. Crews took a male victim to the Morristown emergency room where he later died. We are working to learn his name and age. The sheriff's office says they expect to release more information later today. And this morning, the TBI is still searching for Walter Mendez. Now they're offering a reward. He's accused of leaving the scene after running his car into a Morristown home, killing an 18-month-old child inside. The TBI is offering $1,000 for information leading to his arrest. And the TBI says he may be using the alias Luis Mendez or Louis Mendez or Luis Cardenas. If you see him or anything at all, please call police. Also in Morristown, one person is dead after a crash on Highway 160.
This happened Wednesday night around 8 o'clock. Highway Patrol says a motorcycle driven by Brian Markham braked and skidded into the back of a tractor trailer. He died at the scene. The driver of the tractor trailer is not hurt. This marks the 3rd deadly crash in Morristown in a matter of 10 days. Well, right now, Knoxville police, they're searching for suspects involved in a shooting in the 5 Points neighborhood. Police found one man shot at the Walter P. Taylor homes yesterday afternoon in the middle of the day. He was taken to the hospital. He's expected to survive. Police say the suspects took off in an SUV. If you know anything, you're asked to call East Tennessee Valley Crime Stoppers. We have their number in our WVLT News app.
Continuing coverage this morning, Knox County fire investigators say they do not think the fire at the Walker Springs apartments was intentionally set. No one is hurt. 28 people lost their homes. Investigators still working to identify the cause of the fire. And this morning, we're learning about the services for both victims of the deadly helicopter crash outside of Chattanooga.
Both a highway patrol trooper and Marion County detective were killed in that crash. A visitation of Highway Patrol Sergeant Lee Russell will be held tomorrow from 11 to 8 at the McKenzie, Tennessee at Brummett Funeral Home. The funeral will be held on Sunday at Long Heights Baptist Church. Also tomorrow, a celebration of life being held at South Pittsburgh High School for Marion County Detective Matt Blansett. That'll start at 5 o'clock. A visitation will be held at the school just before that at 3. And today marks 1 year since 13 U.S. service members were killed in a suicide bombing in Afghanistan. Among
those who were killed, East Tennessee native Staff Sergeant Ryan Knauss. Knauss was helping the evacuation at the Kabul airport when a suicide bomber detonated outside the gates. He graduated from Gibbs High School before joining the Army. To honor his legacy, Ryan's family is spending time with his friends at Fort Bragg. As we speak right now, Ryan's dad, Greg, and stepmother, Linnea, are competing in a workout that the Army does every year to honor the legacy of any fallen soldier. We spoke with Greg earlier this week, Ryan's dad, as he reflects 1 year after losing his son.
I've said it before a lot of times that I was blessed to be his dad. He was a blessing. Miss him a lot.
The family tells us they just want to thank everyone that's honored Ryan over the last year.
Well, right now, just weeks after House Speaker Nancy Pelosi made a trip to Taiwan that sparked tensions with China, Tennessee Senator Marsha Blackburn is there right now. In a press release, Blackburn says she is there to work with the country's leadership and show support. She will be in the country for 3 days.
And new details this morning. The White House says the new plan to cancel some of your student loan debt will cost the country around $24 billion a year. Officials say the final cost will depend on how many people take advantage of the plan. Right now, it would erase $10,000 of your debt if you make less than $125,000 a year.
Well, right now you can stock up on everything you need for your kids for the fall and winter. The Picky Chick consignment sale is happening today. This includes clothes and sporting equipment at about 70 to 90% off of what you would pay in the stores. Everything from newborn all the way to teenagers. Doors open at 10 o'clock this morning. It's at the Knoxville Expo Center.
And the boys from Nolensville live to fight another day. They took down Texas 7-1 last night in the Little League World Series in an elimination game to move on to the U.S. Championship. They'll have to face Hawaii again. Winner heads to the Little League World Series final. First pitch tomorrow at 3 o'clock on ESPN. And it's another night of high school football across East Tennessee. Our sports team has you covered. Varsity All Access will have all your highlights and analysis from the games tonight. You can watch it right here on WVLT News at 11.
It is 6:54 this morning. We do want to get a look at your first alert traffic with Whitney.
No complaints if you're just now getting out the door on this Friday morning. Those interstates and main roads are still looking good, but that morning rush is right around the corner. So you will need some extra time here if you're leaving in 30 minutes. This is a live look at the interstate I-40 right around 275. Getting a little busy there. We're not seeing any congestion though. 75 southbound, 640 west, I-40 west, all moving without an issue. Same goes for all those roadways. Just be mindful of those school zones and make sure you're following the speed limits.
Your first alert forecast with Chief Meteorologist Heather Haley.
5 minutes to 7 now, watching these downpours. Again, some frequent lightning still in parts of far northeast Tennessee, as well as at the Tennessee-Kentucky line. Right now it is 68 in Greenville in the showers near the rumbles of thunder, 70 in Morristown, and 74 in Oak Ridge down the road from that downpour that's at the other side of Anderson County with some small hail and frequent lightning branched up into Campbell County. Again, these are moving east-northeast at only about 15 miles per hour, so that's why they're just taking their time, moving from one county to the next. Headed across the North Lake. Don't go out and go fishing. Nope, that'll be right over at North Lake here in about a half an hour. We still got those rumbles of thunder and heavy rain over Morristown and again that northeast corner of Cocke County. So a lot of us are just seeing these clouds for the rest of East Tennessee. I was even watching some lightning in the distance from Knoxville earlier this morning. But for today, we're going to watch some of those storms even move through parts of Knox County this afternoon. Brief few afternoon storms here, so it's spotty all day. And then a few more in the afternoon. Brief 40% coverage. High today 87, feeling like low 90s. Now the highs are actually right around 90 all weekend, but what we're monitoring here is more of a stray pop-up on Saturday. So a few more this afternoon, more sunshine, more pool time, more lake time tomorrow with a stray storm popping up in the higher elevations and then dropping down into the valley. Now on Sunday, I see a couple more storms. So that 20% coverage starts in your midday and tries to come down into the valley in the afternoon to evening. So just giving you a heads up, there are still a couple of good downpours here on this steamy string of days. Next week is when we'll return to a better coverage of our area in rain and storms Tuesday to Wednesday.
Looking good. I like the 90s this week, and then I like that power tee on.
I'm glad you approve.
The power tee.
That's all that matters.
Big fan of that one. 6:56. We're headed to WBXX on this Friday. Have a good one.